Siri thought it was a
Siri,
bit.
stop, babe. What do you want?
She's being needy.
She can wait. All right. So we're going to walk up to this person who just kind of is giving us some pathetic vibes. And I'm going to go up with the swagger. Like, I know what I'm doing, and I'm there on business. I'm going to say, the dogs are getting, like, zoomies right now.
Well, it's terrifying outside, so they're going nuts.
So, excuse me there, partner. I found myself in a bit of a pickle, and I am hoping that you can help me out. My name is John. This is Jane. And we have a couple questions if you have a moment to spare.
Okay. And this person, I will say a young woman, looks maybe a little new to the job, I guess. You find the newest person in the job that you can find. And she goes, okay. What can I do for you?
Now, we are here on behalf of the Empire, third party, little repair agency. Do you hear about all that's happened up in Freegate recently? It's a big mess. They need repairs. There's leaks everywhere. They don't know up from down. They cannot figure out what is going on over there. So they send us in. We can't figure it out neither. So we are hoping to get some records of Freegate. Maybe some older stuff, because there just seems to be things that are just not on the books. We don't know what's going on. And we are aware that it may be in some restricted areas. We understand. We don't want to get anyone in trouble, but if you could just point us in the right direction, we'll be out of your hair and on our way.
Okay. She nods along as you're explaining all this to her. Make a willpower and
insight. Prefer persuade. Or...
yeah,
I guess so. I don't know. Willpower's also, it's like your charisma. Insight, willpower, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, that's the persuade one. I'm looking at some of the other ones. Like, there's not a deception one, not that I can see here.
You're trying to persuade her.
Yeah.
With lies.
Please. Please.
Nope.
Oh God.
It's a 3 on a D6 and a 2 on a D8.
Rolls have been trashed.
Roll 20 is
that's what
has
happens
it out
sometimes.
for us. And you're out of Fabula points too, right? Yeah.
Roll 2.
Roll 20. Not a fan of Benoit Blanc.
Well, do you want to re-roll it? Chris,
I
do you want
can't, unfortunately.
I mean, I can make a roll. I haven't done anything yet.
I was going to say...
I guess I assumed you were part of this charade as Jane here.
And Jason, I probably would say, like, I don't know, maybe seeing that this person is not fully buying it, not falling head over heels for Steve's charm. Be like, I do think I got all of it. Jane, am I missing something? Let's make sure to give the lady all the information she needs.
Well, it was a terrible mess. Bodies everywhere. One of the trains seemed to have mechanical problems. And, of course, Ross is trying to walk a line of, like, things that actually happened.
Being honest, yeah.
Right. Whatever was happening in that facility, we're on the clock. We need to find out as much as we can as quickly as possible. Those repairs aren't going to do themselves.
And okay, yeah, make me a roll.
What's nice is, again, it doesn't really matter if I'm lying or not because all the checks are the same.
Yeah.
But that's the approach she would take.
Yeah.
So I'll roll it to persuade check, but again, it doesn't really matter.
Right. She's certainly, you say bodies everywhere, and she's like, oh my God.
Oh, that's terrible. Better.
Right. It's all the way up at a 7.
That's something.
It's better than a 5.
It sure is.
Hey, Sean, maybe you should have Steve pull on the like blue steel or something, you know? Just Zoolander mode. Try to use that.
Magnum. Holy moly.
Okay. So, you I will say, I mean, 7 has been a success so far. She's like, well, I don't really know anything about all that. Um, uh, I can point you to somebody who might know where to send you. Um, uh, Freegate though. Sorry, this is my first week, so I'm not really sure where everything is right now. So how about I get somebody who's a bit more knowledgeable for you? Okay.
Seems like a lot of rigmarole for. It's a simple request. Surely you know the
sorry.
area of the restricted section.
I just started. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's somewhere down in the lower levels, but I don't have access. I can't get to it. So, I'll need to get somebody else. Maybe they can let you guys in. If you guys talk to the front desk, they know where things are.
Yeah, we did. They pointed us in your direction, pretty much.
Well, I'll. If you guys just want to wait right here, and I'll be right back. Yes, thank you. Okay. And she's sort of
right.
like,
Well, I
backs up.
suppose we can wait.
It's very kind of you,
And
sir.
I'm gonna
Thank
turn
you.
to
Yes.
Roz after she leaves and be like, "Should we wait?" Or I don't know. She bought it.
I don't know that she did. I don't know what she would have done if she had.
I'm not sure that this has been a good use of time.
No, but it was kind of fun.
It was fun, right? It was fun. Now the question is, do we wait here or do we just try to? Do we say it was a bust? You try a little bit more.
It depends on how far you're willing to push this. We could just cut our losses here and head back up. It's been a while now. Maybe the others have found something. Maybe a couple of the others have made it here. But we could certainly try. I would almost rather do it above board, though, and almost just go straight to the front desk with it than that tactic again.
I don't know what you mean. I kind of fond of that guy. Jason, a gameplay question on the wheel. How are we? Like, are we timed out basically, or?
Nope. You got 2 more to go before you fill it in.
I thought there was
2
like
more sections.
Is there like you have to fill it in before a certain thing happens though?
I mean, only if it's a situation that is timed. Like
okay.
combat obviously has the amount of time you're going to get beat up. And like if it's like sometimes they count down. That's a time like where every turn it goes down and you're trying to keep it filled up or what have you. But like in your case, you're just kind of trying to build up enough information to understand where you should go. You technically could be here for like weeks just trying, I guess.
We might
I don't
be
know that
based
you'd
on
be
these
the most-
rules. Well, so I'll say, look, we got a little bit of information. Looks like the restricted area is in the lower level. Looks like there is confirmed to be a restricted area that they do or can give access to. I say we try to work on this new person. We give it one more try and we see where we go. We're already this far in.
I really hope that voice comes back.
It's actually going to be a new voice now.
Well, I love the idea that somewhere in this world exists like a Louisiana bayou.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's got this. Oh,
I
like,
do declare.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it one more time.
All right.
Okay. So you wait for them to return.
Mhm.
There's like an awkward couple minutes where you're like, I don't know if they're coming back. And then they arrive and they are there's somebody with them.
And a security guard.
They have somebody that looks kind of important as far as you can tell. They've got all the pin on them and everything. They don't look like security. They're an owl folk. And the person goes, here it is. I found the person. They can help you look for everything you're looking for. Thank you, sir. I'll leave you guys to it. And then she sort of walks off, very relieved. And the person that's there, he kind of extends his hands, and he's just like, "Oh, yes, I'm High Curator Eric."
Oh, it's Eric. It's Eric. It is Eric. Man, he's been busy. I'm not
And-
saying this to him.
Eric's like, what? What the fuck?
And he says, I hear you're looking for the restricted area.
Yeah, you know how it goes. We're a third party. Did she bring you up to speed? The little lady bring you up to speed? Do you know kind of where we're about?
I had heard Freegate, yes?
Yeah, you know how these things go. It is a mess over there. You don't even want to know. Tons of problems, right? And we're trying to figure out how can we repair the place. We have all of the blueprints. I can't make heads or tails of them because we think there is a older, maybe more accurate, you catch my drift? So we're just trying to say it might be in the restricted area. We're just trying to do our job. You understand where we're coming from? Now it's going a little less Louisiana, a little more.
It changed slightly.
He kind of nods and he's like, yes, I do have a rough understanding of what it is you're looking for. Certainly, come, follow me. And he kind of walks you down to kind of the lower, down a lower level and up to a particular door that is marked, staff only. And
promising.
He opens the door and he kind of takes you inside. And inside, there is it's just like kind of a smaller hallway. And there's a couple like shelves and some kind of plaques and stuff. But it brings you up to, he then walks you guys up to another door. And he pulls out a key and he sort of unlocks one of the locks in the door. Then pops out another key, unlocks another door, another like lock in the door, pulls out a third,
Jesus.
unlocks it again. Then he opens it up and he walks in and says, follow me, of course. And he brings you into an area.
Yeah, now they're getting arrested.
And as you walk in, you definitely you can tell that there is a sort of shift in, I would say, the atmosphere. But I mean that in so much that there is no more hustle and bustle. There is no voices. There's no murmur. This section of the House of Knowledge is absolutely not for public use. There's a hush, a bit of a quiet. You think you see one other person maybe walking around the halls as you're kind of looking up and down the hallways here where all the bookshelves are. And he begins walking you down past a number of sections that have slightly more confusing, the way that they are demarcated is not using your typical lettering system. They appear to have something a bit more archaic. And he eventually leads you to an area and begins flipping through a number of things before he pulls out a section and sets it down and says, I believe these would be what you're looking for. These were some of the earlier designs and blueprints for Freegate, back when it was being originally drafted. Any renovations they may have made since then, of course, I cannot provide you.
Well, thank you, sir. This is take care of everything we were wondering about. This is perfect. Exactly what we needed.
And he says, if you're looking for a duplicate, I'm afraid I cannot provide you with one, but you're welcome to look at it here with me. And then I must put it away, though. I'm sure you understand.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't see any problem with that. And then I suppose I would leave an opening for Jane. I don't know now at this point how Rosalind could possibly think of a way to also cover another piece that she's looking for, but I want to give her the chance to say anything.
Nope. She's fine going along with this as is.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So do you just want to sort of look over the plans, or do you want to in some way duplicate them? What's your plan here, essentially?
Well, he said we can't duplicate them, right? So if we
Correct,
do try to duplicate it,
you could always hand draw it. He and if you ask him, he would, I guess, clarify that he cannot make you a copy.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
if you need to like notate it, that is something that you are more than welcome to
Okay.
do.
So we don't need to punch out Eric, hide his body under the
But we
desk.
still can.
You don't
Okay.
have to.
No, I
Yeah.
want to talk to him now.
So I can draw. I'm pretty good. I have the notebook. I made all sorts of drawings on our trip. So if he's fine with it, I'll be like, "No, you don't understand how much you are helping us out right now. I am just going to take out my little notebook and sketch some of the problematic areas, parts that are giving us the most problems. You understand? If you're fine with that, I'm just gonna.
And he nods and goes, of course, I understand. We're always happy to help anyone that represents the Empire here,
Do you,
especially in regards to keeping Freegate facility nice and secure.
do you happen to have a modern blueprint, just to see maybe what some of the differences are?
And he goes, unfortunately, no, I cannot say that we do. Any renovations that they would have done in the intervening years would not be the sort of thing that they would offer us. Although I suppose I could check and see if anyone has added anything recently.
If you don't mind, that would just be a peach. Oh, thank you so much.
And he sort of goes, yes, one moment, let me check somewhere soon. And or somewhere recent or nearby.
Right.
And he sort of walks off and sort of leaves you to your business. With that, I think we haven't gotten to Kestrel and Meru recently.
Well, we didn't pass their dead bodies on the way through, so that's good.
Yeah.
So you guys are leaving, or you guys are still in the room,
Mhm.
right? You guys are still in the room.
Well, I hadn't duplicated my books yet.
Correct. So you're in the room with Eric, and he says, well, I would be more than happy to get any of the books that you want and duplicate them for you. And so why don't we return to the area and let's pick some out for you.
Okay. I am looking. Like I said, I want the ones that you showed me, and I would also like, so we know where to go. I would like something to help me learn to read. But maybe also, maybe my friend is sick, and I think maybe we could find maybe some books on his sickness. And can I get a lot of books?
And he says, he nods, and in as much as a bird folk can smile, given that they have a beak, he smiles and says, of course. Come, let us walk a while and see what it is that we can find for you. And he goes out with you and takes you back first to the area on the Wonderlust Woods and begins picking some of the books that you had looked at before and any other ones that you're looking at. So if you, I don't know if there's anything in particular you're looking for, or we can kind of make a list here of ones that he is going to duplicate for you. But you've given him something rather important and unique, so he's willing to barter or copy quite a few things for you here.
Okay.
For future reference.
I'm gonna get 1,000,000 books. So
1,000,000 books.
Yes,
Okay.
1,000,000. I'm going to get those Freegate ones that I asked him about. I asked him about the history ones of the cordon.
Okay, history of it would be Freegate and the cordon essentially. That is, they are tied together as far as why Freegate popped up the way it did, and essentially the free people that helped defend that area. There's the image book. That one is that one that you would also like? Okay.
Yep.
Image book. There was the history of the Akashic station fall. Probably a generic history book on the Wanderlust Woods, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. So there is a book on Wanderlust Woods and the Sealy Court.
Mhm.
There was also
Um,
like a day in the life
I was going to ask about that as
autobiography.
well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, you would like to look at those as well.
I'm going to pick up some Merusan books. I'm going to pick up some books on Gunnulf's disease.
Okay, well, some of these are going to be trickier than others to find, even with his help. So let's see here. So ones on Gunnulf's disease are going to require you explaining what exactly you're talking about, because he doesn't know exactly what you mean. And the ones on the day in the life, he can bring you to if you'd like to look through them.
Okay.
So we can handle those probably one at a time here. So the disease, how do you describe the disease to him?
He is sick. He has his hand doesn't work very well anymore. It is, I think, numb. It's depressed.
He's like, got it right away.
He's got a dumb and depressed hand.
And
Oh, geez.
from how he explained it, it will spread, and he's like a smaller wolf. If that helps.
And there is a moment of recognition as you describe him as a wolf, and he goes, "Ah, yes, there is a particular illness of the soul, as it is known, rare and only to those in the north. It we have a small section on it, I believe, in the area that we have information on magical sickness. I can bring you to it. I cannot promise that there's a lot, though. Unfortunately, the number of, well, written tradition is not particularly common above the wall, at least not amongst the tribes that live up there. So our access to what they know is limited to what information, interviews, and other oral traditions are passed down. But I believe I know what you speak of. There are a number of myths and tales regarding it. I will take you to it. And sure enough, he does. He takes you to a section on magical diseases, which there's a lot. There's a lot of magical diseases out there, but he does have a book on the basically it's sort of like, well, I mean, let's see here. It would be titled like Sickness of the Soul or something like that. I'm gonna write that down.
I'm soul sick.
And that wouldn't be necessarily, you can tell, well, Myru can tell, that that's maybe more of a poetic term being used here by the people. The book is more or less a collection of tales and interviews done by people from the north, or like people that have traveled into the north and basically done interviews with the people up there. So it is a collection of myths and sort of like wives' tales and other things like that. So the accuracy of it would certainly be highly suspect, but it does seem to have a lot of information over the kinds of things you might be looking for if you guys are planning on going north above the wall, or at least it could give you guys some leads. But that's the one book he has for you on that topic.
Okay, cool. Heck yeah, gimme.
And then he also brings you guys to the section on the day in the life that he had told you about earlier. And he says, now this one might be a bit more difficult. It's a rather extensive collection. It's roughly 30 volumes. So we may need to come back if you would like all of them, as you guys are building a little stack of books here. And he's like, but you're welcome to look through them now. If you want, I can go about the process of starting to make duplicates for the rest of these. If you want to stay here and read through these, and then I can come back and make more or duplicate them. Okay. So he gives you guys a little polite bow, and he heads off in the direction kind of back towards that room that he had gone to earlier. And as he is doing that, you guys are sort of left with the books themselves, the day in the life. They are a so true to so they're like he described, there are a lot of these novels. And they all seem to detail sort of like the internal thoughts and feelings felt by sort of members of different like races, as well as like the sort of habits and cultural novelties and things like that, as sort of they go about their daily lives and jobs and stuff like that. It's sort of like getting something of like an autobiography from different people, essentially. And each book, each volume contains the perspectives of a different individual, and then they're all kind of organized into tomes based on the like the race, the person or the race of the person in question. So like, you know, volume 1 is, you know, like cowfolk, and then like volume 2 is, you know, like deer folk, and then like volume, so like as you go through each volume you can basically read through and you can get sort of a like an in-person like autobiographical experience of like, oh, this is what, you know, this is what a day in the life is like for this person. And it's got a lot of like little cultural things, you know, this and that. If you guys want, you can make me an insight check for this.
Come on.
Get
Come
some good
on,
rolls.
They can't all be bad.
Right?
No whammies, no whammies. Whammies.
Well,
10.
10 and
really
6.
likes twos today.
Okay. You notice that no matter the education level or profession of the contributor for any like particular sort of like point of view in each book, the information that they provide is surprisingly academic and detailed, even uncharacteristically so in some cases, like when a sort of simple farmer is sort of providing a pretty detailed opinion on some things. And you also notice that whoever wrote each of these novels, and it should be noted that they are all accredited to various, they all seem to have a similar like structure and flow to their writing, which may indicate like a shared education, or like maybe they all belong to like a similar group, or like the same group of like scholars or literary people or something. There are certain similarities between them, essentially, if that makes sense.
If I were to look up like a Kitsune autobiography, would I find a lot of inconsistencies with what I know, or just
There is one.
Okay.
I will also mention that as you are flipping through them, you notice that there are only 29 books here. There are not 30, even though you were told that there are 30 of them in total.
Interesting?
And there is a book on Kitsune, and flipping through it as a Kitsune, it strikes you that although what is written in it is accurate, the feelings, the desires, the sort of cultural norms, although they are certainly accurate, you cannot help but feel that they are written from an outsider's perspective. That whoever is writing this seems to be writing it as though they are experiencing it for like the first time, or like from the outside in, not necessarily like they are writing from their own experience. It's particularly evident for you because there are observations being made talking about like, you know, how they felt when they like saw the setting sun, or the sort of like the warmth of the like the fire, that sort of burning passion to see things that even just reading here strike you as like you've never considered that before. In fact, reading them makes you realize, oh, I guess that's true. But you've certainly never had that thought yourself. It's just always been part of who you are. And it strikes you as odd that this kitsune writing this book, they are either the most introspective person ever, or they are writing it from an outside perspective to some degree.
Hmm.
That is what stands out to you flipping through it.
Interesting. Okay.
But it does seem to be accurate.
Wonder where this
So-
30th book is.
Yeah, can we like narrow down who's missing based on all the other books that we have available to us?
You can certainly attempt to. Do you want to ask me if one of them is present? I guess the question is, I do believe that we probably have more than 30 different kinds of people in this world. But so like, I don't know how to answer that question other than to like,
You wouldn't be
because
able
you
to
may not be able to find
exactly like deduce it.
correct. Yeah,
Okay.
Well, if you scan the spines, are they numbered or?
they are.
Okay, so which number isn't present?
29th.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, something
And
to
you-
ask
I mean-
about when.
You could always ask me if a particular type of people is present in these, and I can tell you if they are.
Are the Kirin present?
They are not.
Okay. Interesting.
But is there any other questions or any other things you want to look up with these books?
Not from me.
Okay. Let's see here. I can go in a circle. Albus, Gunolf, what are you guys up to?
Would we have seen Rosalind and Steve go off on their own at this point?
Probably not.
We're on a
Okay.
stealth mission.
But Albus was with
Sharp.
Miss Sharp,
Yes.
so we can at least
Then I
Group
came to
up
find
with
you,
Sharp
and you
and-
immediately, instead of saying anything else, was like, "Let me see your apron." Turn me around.
That sounds about right. So yeah,
Okay.
I suppose let's go ahead and see Sharp.
Okay. It takes you a little bit to find her, but she's kind of in one area. Sharp is pouring through information, lots of information. She's got years upon years of court cases to go through. In fact, Sharp, if you'd like, make me another check.
Yes.
Still insight,
Ooh.
insight.
To sort of pour through these books.
Okay.
Find some good stuff.
A 10.
Another 2.
How do you know? How can you?
You can
If you
hover
scroll
over
over
the
it,
number.
yeah. 2 and an 8.
2 and a 10. Just kidding.
That doesn't make 10.
Okay. So you certainly make progress as far as like, it's not in the ones that you've checked. You don't see anything.
Just
Okay.
throwing books.
So yeah, you guys arrive and Sharp is still flipping through some stuff. She appears to be diligently moving through, flipping through. There are plenty of like tables and things like that distributed amongst all the different shelves and other things in the House of Knowledge. So she grabs one, goes, sits down, or doesn't sit down. I don't know. She doesn't really get tired, I guess. So
Yeah.
maybe she just stands there and flips through it,
Mm-hmm.
and then. So yeah, you guys found Sharp. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
Hey,
found Sharp.
Miss Sharp,
Oh, hey.
Did you need a hand?
Yeah, this was a much bigger task than I anticipated for some reason. I'm essentially going through these documents to see if there's anything related to the name Grace blah.
Do you know the last name?
It was Rao. It was Grace Rao, I believe.
Grace Rao.
I'll
Okay. Thank you.
I will double check that I'm not misremembering. Yes, Grace and then RAO. Grace Rao.
R-A-O. Oh yeah, okay, that sounds right.
How do you spell the last name again?
RAO?
RAO.
Or I guess since the cat's out of the bag, or I'm also looking for a name, Leopold Sharp.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Have you made any progress?
Well, this is the stack over here that I don't have anything. I'm essentially I know it's within, or I believe at least that they were in Lighthaven within this certain time frame, 5 to maybe 8 years ago. So and I'm almost halfway done with year 5.
I want to hear what Gunoff has to say.
He doesn't care.
Gunoff has to say about
Well, I don't
About
want to
what?
lead you,
Well,
so
actu-
never mind.
I mean, I guess the question is, would because Gunoff's relative knew me previously, who knew about my husband, would Gunoff know already that I had a husband at least?
I would have thought you would have told me about that.
I would have thought so
Yeah.
too. So I think you know the name, but maybe you don't know the history,
Right. Yeah.
or obviously the most recent events, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So it could make sense that you would be like, why are you looking for your husband within the last 5 to 7 years? I thought he died or something. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, no, I'm
Was
nodding
that the whole
furiously.
idea?
No, that's
idea?
that's what I was curious about.
Oh, okay.
I would Gunoff would probably just start looking and wouldn't ask too many questions yet.
Okay.
It's like, oh, okay. There's a reason we're looking up for this name. Maybe it's in a description, as in we're working on the works of Leopold, or something in the authors as a contributing author.
Yeah.
Of sorts for these
Yeah.
scientific papers.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yes, I will be assisting her to look. Is there a
Okay.
role
If
would like
you
me to
guys would
take?
also, let's do another round of checks from all three of you if you want to
Okay.
assist.
Sure.
Okey-dokey.
Insight and insight.
Okay.
Ooh, I got a 16.
Oh, not on
There
a
you
crit,
go.
but very
Not on
good
the
still.
crit. No.
I would like to invoke my bond, or a trait rather, that I am not unfamiliar with peering through blueprints, documents, or anything of the sort, as a tinkerer. So I'd like to invoke the trait of my history and reroll one of my dice.
Okay.
Nice.
Good job, Peter.
Huh?
Yeah,
Nice
Peter's just
job.
rock
You got
solid.
a
It's got,
10.
Oh, yeah.
Elvis is like, whatever you need.
Oh, it's an 8. Okay. Well, it's better than 1.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So then Gunoff, that's an 8 total.
yes.
Well, despite your history of working through a lot of documents and things like that, you find that the specifics of legal documents are a different
Boring as
animal
fuck.
than when you're working with mechanical ones. These sort of like, or not, your blueprints and whatnot. So, unfortunately, you need a 10 to succeed, and you did not. But that is still, I believe that's 1, 2, 3 successes because of Sharp's very good roll.
Is it
and Peter rolled a 10.
yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's I guess a success
4?
plus 2 more. That is 4. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. You're right.
Now I'm sorry,
Ooh.
Jason. So you get a success if it's a success, and if it's a 12, that's 2.
So it's got to be. So it's if it's 3 higher,
Oh,
it's an
3
extra
higher.
success. If it's 6 higher, it's 2 extra successes.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
Yeah.
4 total. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Dang.
That's why the 7, 10, 13, 16 matters.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Gunolf is just too
So with
distracted by
that-
Leopold. Why is she asking
What a
for
cool
Leopold?
name.
What's going on? Why is she asking about Leopold? He's dead.
So Rosalind, Steve, Eric, you guys have spent so Steve, you're there. You're just like sketching, right?
Yeah, and Jason,
you're
so
doing your-
Eric, our dude, I may have to take this back later, but right now, like, if he ends up being a pedophile, then I retract it. But he's a cool guy.
Why is that even a sentence?
I mean, but
Canceled.
I'm saying he's a
Sean's
pedophile.
canceled.
No, I'm protecting myself. I'm going to say right now that he's
Oh,
great, but
no.
if something unsavory comes out, I
Sean
reserve.
thinks
We can just
pedophiles-
enjoy Kevin Spacey until he becomes the other Kevin Spacey, and then we retract our previous
Yeah.
statements.
There you go.
We don't have
So-
to conditional them.
My question was, so we kind of talked about the history of the area and all of that. He brought out the blueprints for Freegate. Did he bring out any of like any documents of like the landscape of the area during that time, or any other relevant documents?
So the one document that he kind of brought out was essentially, it would have contained some like cartographic information, but
Okay.
it would have been specifically in relation to where they were building the facility, in relation to like on the wall and that terrain of that area, if that makes sense. So it wouldn't have been like particularly zoomed back. It would have been in more relation to like, hey, if we're going to be laying the wall here and building the facility here, and we have to say like go into the dirt here, where's the bedrock go? Like, how do we make sure that like it's sealed all the way down? Like there are a number of sort of like architectural matters that pertain to the geography, and those are included
Okay,
in
great.
these documents. But when it comes to just like, if you were like, okay, so like 3 miles away, what's around
No,
it? That's not
honestly, that's what I was curious about. So I feel like there's 3 pieces that we need: the cartography, the blueprints, and then like the modern day blueprints, which we don't have. So we're missing a piece, but there's still some information that we can put together based on like what would have had to have been in place if we like if there's a spot on the terrain that would have necessitated a certain architectural feature that we identify could be like a weak point in their defense or something like that. That could be very relevant, because otherwise we're not going to know, did they just simply change it and we go to look for a tunnel and it's not there or whatever.
And since Eric is
Gotcha.
gone, Roz, as Jane, is going to say something along those lines too, where it's like, so John, and she's really trying to lean into this, even
Yeah.
though she's not. Yeah. It'd be nice if we had any entry points that were on there, but also I'm curious if there was ever anything resembling cells in the original blueprints. And I want to help him kind of look through these and just to see if there's anything that looks like a series of smaller rooms that could have been intended for that. Again, they're not going to say cells on them, but like, is there a series of rooms in one of the areas, particularly, can we tell from looking at this essentially that like, how do I describe this? So we know that some kind of incident happened somewhere near where the exit to the tram that went to Roulette was. Is there anything on that side of these blueprints that would lead us to indicate like there were some kind of smaller rooms that could have been cells in that area? And also in character, she would tell him to do a sketch on a separate page of that side of the facility.
Yeah. Duly noted, assistant, or should I say partner, you just been promoted.
I've always wanted a promotion. I don't even think I'm really contributing enough, but I appreciate it.
So yeah, do we discern
Uh,
anything, Jason, from
So there are sections of it that are devoted to what they call laboratories and like secure research. And given the secure part of that and the precautions that are like being made in the blueprints, whether it comes to like making sure that the room has its own like say ventilation system, that there are like they've left adequate space for say secure doors and things like that, you would hazard a very safe guess that these absolutely could be used as cells, although they aren't explicitly called that in the design blueprints.
Sure.
Yeah. But you take.
Go ahead.
So it takes you. I'm gonna say I don't know how much of these are you gonna jot down? Quite a bit.
I'm gonna try to really replicate it. Eventually, I would also like to write down my idea is to form as close to current blueprint as possible based on what we saw, at least in the areas that we saw. I'm thinking
Okay.
I'm gonna have very limited knowledge, but we saw some of it. Sharp's gonna have a little bit more. Maybe if Myru was brought in through another entrance, she might know more. Kestrel, I know, has a photographic memory. Hopefully she's gonna know a whole lot. So I'm not gonna worry about that right now, Jason.
Make me so we're gonna do a group check here. Steve, since you're the one doing it, you'll be the leader.
God.
So Rosalind, you're gonna be going up against the DL10, and then Steve, you just basically make me, the check, and you're gonna add a +1 if Rosalind gets over a 10, and it's gonna be a Dex and Insight because you are essentially trying to sketch. Well, okay, Rosalind, for you, I know this doesn't matter, but it is Insight and Insight, and for Steve, it's Dex and Insight because you have to draw it and you have to be very like particular about how
If
you're
tonight I reveal the blueprints and it's all just squiggly lines, I'm gonna be really sad. Okay.
Okay.
We both got an 8.
What was the
Both
check?
got an 8.
10.
Is that it was 10? So we both fail?
Well, okay, to assist somebody, it is a 10, essentially. So you don't get a +1 from him, but a 7 is good enough to make rudimentary copies of the blueprints.
Hooray.
God.
Rudimentary.
Looks like
fine.
a
They don't have to be-
6-year-old did it.
They don't have to
but
be
it's-
detailed. They just have to be close enough that we can make sense of them later.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're talking like Sokka diagrams here. That's
Right.
what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Steve is supposedly good at drawing, so I'll say like he's feeling a little rushed trying to get everything in, so they end up feeling a little rudimentary, but it'll get hopefully get the job done.
I mean, I'm supposedly good at information brokering, but we can all have off days.
Exactly.
So about 30 minutes later, as you're going through all this stuff, Eric approaches you again, and he has a kind of a small stack of pieces of parchment and things like that. And he goes, here, these are the ones that I've procured. Recent additions to our restricted section in the area that you're looking for. And he hands them to you. And you notice that they are not too dissimilar in quality to what you have. Hand drawn, presumably done from memory, or copied, if that makes sense. Like this is clearly a reproduction of some kind, but there are certain like maybe small errors and things like that that maybe indicate that it's not 100% accurate, but it does have some differences, some changes that reflect that are different from like what you have in front of you and what Eric is presenting you here. They do look different. So presumably these are differences that exist or have like things that have changed since then.
Nice.
I'm going to annotate the differences in the drawing that I'm making.
Okay. So you go, Eric kind of stands there with you and, as you're sort of doing your thing, I'll even It's fine. He basically he kind of helps you like denote certain areas and like maybe update. Are you trying to just update yours, or are you trying to duplicate his the ones that he's providing you again?
I think it's probably, I mean, Jason, you can tell me, but like in my head, the changes are small enough to like be able to just like annotate, maybe even write in like this tunnel is gone or whatever. And if it's a big enough change, I might try to illustrate on a separate page like what that change is.
It does appear that in that secure research area, there have been a decent number of changes in regards to expanding what is labeled a cell block. So that might require a separate page at the very
And so that
least.
was an expansion to the lab that is now labeled as a cell block, you said, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. And
I definitely like glance at Roz. Good call. It was a good promotion from me. Cool.
Myru and Kestrel. Eric ends up coming back to you guys with a fresh stack of books
Yeah, busy
that both look similar and different from the ones that you guys had before. The covers look a little different, but they look like roughly the same one. And as soon as you open them, you can see that they are reproductions essentially. And he goes to hand them to you. So you have what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different books.
Yep, 5.
Not counting the day in the life stuff that you guys are looking at right now. And he asks you guys, he's like, so has this been an informative look into things here for you two?
Does Myru?
It froze.
Oh.
My screen.
Oh,
froze.
no.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, we're back. I don't. Myra's debating if she wants the book about the kitsune. At a glance, it was like accurate, but a little weird, and it might be worth digging deeper potentially. Or not. So I'm just trying to decide if that makes sense.
He's willing to, as he hands you the 5 books, he then asks, did you still want me, young Kestrel, to try to duplicate these as well for you?
Yeah. One's missing though. The 29th one? Where's that?
And he goes, well, that one in particular is it is restricted.
Ooh.
Not my choice, but it was something that was a special request was put in to have it removed. And he kind of looks about and he goes, for you, I would be willing to perhaps part with it, but you would have to give me a moment to find the copy.
Okay. Sounds fair.
I like that
he goes,
we're seeing the value that he's putting on the memory that you gave him, so that's great.
And he does say, I will need to take the rest of these, however, in order to duplicate them. So if you don't mind, I will need to gather them up.
Myru will hand him the kitsune book and just say, oh, we understand completely, and thank you again for your help and willingness to share this knowledge with us.
And he goes, well, of course, that is what we here at the House of Knowledge stand for, despite circumstances.
It's a good thing Gunoff got a fucking cart, and we're gonna need a train for all these.
Kestrel's just gonna keep going back and forth, bringing books.
Yeah,
I need more books. Give me
copy the whole library.
Jason,
I know what the extra seat is for.
Yeah. What was the name of the image book of the Flesh Curse?
Gosh, I didn't give it a name. Its name is probably. These are always kind of going to be, you know how artists are. They like to give their things fancy names.
Always.
So it's probably called like Dreams of a Fall or something like that.
Nice.
Is that yeah.
That's great.
Poetic.
I would immediately read that book.
Give it to me.
I gotta write it down or I'm gonna forget it. Okay, so he kind of produces a wand, and with sort of a little word of incantation, he basically gets all 29 of the books out and sort of gets them all floating in the stack, and then he sort of wheels them off, takes them with him as he heads down to where he had duplicated the other books.
Cool.
I don't know how you guys are going to carry them when he brings
We're
them
gonna
back
take
here.
the whole damn library, dude.
Wait, he is duplicating all 29 volumes?
Yeah, that's what they
Oh my
asked
God.
for. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna
That's why I said multiple
Nice.
get
trips.
a
'cause-
wheelbarrow.
Okay, so not 5 books, but
Come
30
help books.
3 books.
30.
Oh
30.
my
We're at
God.
35 right now.
We get like
We're at 35. Yeah.
We're just gonna we're gonna have a library at my shop, and
Yes.
we're just gonna start.
Actually, we are at
storing things.
You
35,
asked him
aren't
to
we?
do the
Because
entire
he's doing the restricted one too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
So 35.
all
we
right.
get a bag to at least help carry all these temporarily.
You
guys have bags.
need a takeout bag for these books here.
Take it back.
Of
Thank
course,
you for
paper or
coming.
plastic.
So with that, he heads off, downstairs. Rosalind and Steve, he's there with you guys, waiting for you guys to finish up what you're doing. And it doesn't take you long to update your own notes on things. Yeah, once you're done, I mean, it looks like you're done. He will ask you. He's like, "Is that all? Anything else?"
I looked at Roz just to make sure there's nothing that I'm forgetting.
It's been a big help, Eric. And trust me when I say that we're hoping we can use this information to keep anyone else in Freegate from being harmed in the future.
And I close the book and I say, agreed. You are a scholar and a gentleman, and it has been such a pleasure to work with you today. I wish you the very best. Eric, thank you.
And with that, he kind of walks you guys over to the doorway with all of the it's got all the locks on it and whatnot. And he walks you. He kind of walks you to it and says, "Very well, gentlemen. I hope you have a very good day. I will clean up, and if you need anything else, be sure to ask the staff."
Do they shake hands in this world? Is that like a thing?
Shake feathers.
Shake wings.
Waka waka.
I feel like this guy is gender blind because he said gentleman.
I guess that's true, but you know,
Yeah.
ladies-
Gentle.
Sorry,
So-
lady and gentleman.
Foul.
I know, so
Gentle
they're
foul.
beastmen, but dude, that's actually a good question. Is it wings
Gentle
or hands?
beast. Squeeze his foot.
Maya, that's gonna be your call. What do you want? here?
Hands.
Hands with wings on the back.
She
Then-
says with a heavy sigh.
I will proudly extend a hand to shake Eric. Eric's hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
And shake him.
Where's the president?
Why, I do declare,
God damn it!
you've been a fine fella.
I'm just
And
messing
he
with you.
extends a hand, and he shakes your hand as well. And with that, he bids you adieu.
See, it's the bit. I'm
And-
telling you, I say to Roz, it works every time, or most times, like 50% of the time, but it's solid.
Jeez.
And as you guys leave, he kind of closes the door behind you. You can hear it kind of click, click,
Yeah.
click. It kind of locks up a little bit. Where are you guys going next? You two.
Well, at this point, it must be. Well, no, we're not meeting until after. I'll tell Roz we have to be close to 9 at this point because you said
They've,
30
like,
minutes.
missed
And,
brunch.
yeah, that was gonna be the joke. But
Oh.
I was gonna say, so Roz, I feel great about what we got, but you were gonna go to brunch with Myru, right?
That was the plan. I didn't want her going alone.
Yeah.
But also, it's probably time. I don't want to overstay our welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe let's find everybody. I mean, I don't know about Marie and Albus, but Gunolf probably's made his way here by now.
I would think so. It didn't take us terribly long to get over here, other than our brief distraction.
Yeah, maybe let's head for the entrance then.
Fine by me.
Okay. So you guys end up walking. You guys kind of go up the stairs, and as you're going around, you, I guess we can see who else you spot as you go. Make me an insight check. See if you spot like Kestrel and Myru. And
I'm going to keep failing these rolls and never reconvene.
Yep.
Permanently lost.
Yeah, that's 5.
8.
And an 8.
Okey-dokey.
Okay. So as you're walking up, Steve, you as you spot Albus and Gunolf and Sharp, and you see them just like pulling books off shelves in a spot, and you're like, okay, cool. I see where they are. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something. Rosalind, you, however, you're too distracted, so you don't see anything.
I do
You
see
don't
the
notice
lint in
any
my
of them?
belly button, thank you.
Oh, God.
It's weird because as you're walking up the stairs, you spot Eric with a stack of floating books walking back down the direction where you guys just came from, and he is walking down that way. And so you're like,
Was wondering about that.
and he so he's got a bunch of books and he's walking back down towards the restricted area, and you're like, wait, what? And it really throws you off. And so, yeah, you don't notice anybody else. But you at least found Marie and Albus and Gunolf.
I might, if you're fine with it, Jason, I might take an opportunity to be like, Roz, you okay? You seem maybe a little distracted.
Oh, I don't know. I just found out that there may be some greater forces at play that have pushed us down this road of misery and ruin. That's all.
Yeah.
And maybe the thoughts I had late at night when I thought about not waking up the following morning weren't even my own. Maybe they were pushed upon me by some outside source. So yes, I'm not exactly in the best spirits at the moment.
That is news to me. We should talk about all that. I just figured you were, based on your reaction to Kestrel's story, this idea of concept gods is not a well-known thing in this world.
Nothing I've ever heard of before. Then again, I wasn't much one for the gods in the first place, because if they existed, then why did they let this happen? So let's just say it's a different finger to point in a different direction.
I think you and me are going to get along great because we have very similar feelings towards these gods in your world and mine.
Well, I'll try and be a better Jane next time. The whole thing is a bit new to me. But...
Hey, I think you did great, and we got the information we needed, so chalk this one up as a success, I think, for sure.
I think so. We'll have to work on our backstories a bit. I don't know if it's going to hold up to scrutiny if somebody starts asking more questions, but for now, it was great.
Yeah, thank God they didn't ask for badges or anything. We would have been screwed.
Right, and were we a married couple? Were we just co-workers? You know, I'm not entirely clear on what happened, but...
Yeah, well, room for improvement.
Okay. Well, I
Eric's
mean,
just like a
the
couple
heart of the
feet
story
away
gets to
hearing
tell
all
the more
this.
details we need, so we'll develop it over time.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys reconvene with Albus and Gunolf and Sharp, and they are pouring through a lot of historical documents right now. So
Oh, hey, guys.
I'm sorry, I was thinking about something. So we have stumbled upon them. There's just like, I'm imagining papers everywhere as they're pouring through it right now.
they're basically pulling out like big thick binders, flipping through them, flipping, and then like putting them back or setting them to the side. I guess it depends on how organized you guys are, but yeah.
We're very organized.
Just
Yeah.
leaving a massive mess behind
Yeah.
for that poor person who the first new day was.
That'd be so
I'm
What-
trying to flip through the binders with my giant paws, and it's not working too
Oh
well.
no.
2
It's
questions.
working better for you than myself.
Yeah.
So.
Two questions, guys. Have you seen Kestrel and Myru?
No.
Nope, not at all.
We've only found Gunolf since we got
Yeah.
here.
And what are you doing over here? What is this project?
they're helping me look for I'm looking into subject 17. And oh, there's serious face. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Behind Chris. Sorry.
The
Very
laziest dog.
distracted moment there.
Aw.
They're helping me look for subject 17 and an associated person that I'll have to tell you guys about later.
Fair enough. I guess. Can we help? Or maybe one of us helps. One of us tries to find the other two people of our party.
Yeah, I guess what would work?
I've had an okay, some okay success navigating this huge place. I don't mind going to try to find him.
Is it a good idea for you to get lost on your own?
I was gonna say,
They
are you
all-
okay going by
They
yourself?
also say to stay in one spot if you get lost. So maybe we just. Is this close-ish to the entrance?
Yeah, where is this?
I mean, you guys are visible enough from like if you were in the main area and you're sort of looking because there's this sort of big open space that can kind of view through some of the floors and whatnot. You're close enough to the edge of one of them that I would call it a central location, even though that's not really what it is. But yeah.
So can we?
If that makes
We
sense.
can see the main area, or the main area can see, or vice.
A bit of both. A
Okay.
bit of both.
All right.
Basically, like as you walk in, think of it like a room that has a big central open area in the middle, and then like a lot of all the bookshelves and everything are sort of on the sides. But in the center, there's a big open space where you can see kind of up a couple floors and down a couple floors, and there's like railing.
Okay. Okay.
So like you guys are kind of close to the railing on one of the floors. So if someone were to look out, it's like at the mall. You know what I'm saying? You can see somebody on the other side of the mall because
yeah.
there's a big open spot.
Jason, could I help them with the research, but maybe take a negative because I'm splitting my focus between really making sure that I want to watch the lobby for if they make their way over there.
Sure, you're welcome to take a penalty if you'd like.
And I'm sorry, the help for this was insight.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall we all roll or?
Oh, we
All of
never
you that
found
are
out
here.
what we found out, Mister.
What? What did you say?
We found out about. We didn't find
I
out about.
rolled a 16 last time. Did
Well,
I
it was-
fucking see anything?
It was successes
You
on the
have
clock. So it was like you
Correct.
essentially made a lot of progress. You were ruling out the books that were not correct, but there's still a lot to go.
Oh,
got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
So
we
I don't know
are
why I
all,
didn't just let Jason answer that question. That's my bad.
so we are all rolling.
That is the
Just you
correct
two,
answer.
right?
Now. That is my answer.
Well, it could be just the two of us.
All
or it
of
could
you.
Be,
All of you, I will
Hey.
let all of
Okay.
you make another roll.
Oh my
An
God.
11.
Jason, what's -2?
You make a -1. That's fine.
-1. Okay.
Ooh. Benevolent.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I am too distracted.
I'm gonna spend another okay, come on. I gotta understand how they organize these things. I want to spend another.
I will not let this beat me. I'm a genius, goddammit.
And I do
fucking books.
I do give Leopold's name to Roz and Steve, just because like I want them to
Okay.
be looking for that too.
Okay.
But I feel like if they have questions they can ask, but I let them know like I'll have further details once we're all kind of convened, probably tonight or
Sure.
something.
Just if you
Yeah.
find a name like that, tell me.
Yeah, it means nothing right now. Okay.
Noted. Noted.
So
Okay,
Thank you for your
let's
so-
see. That should be 2 successes on the clock for Chris. That is 1 for Maisie. 1. Sorry, for Sharp. 1 for Albus. And that is 2 for Gunolf.
Nice. Thanks,
You
guys.
still have
So
5 more to
good.
go.
Okay.
Jesus.
Still a little ways. Mhm.
Damn
So, Myru and Kestrel, Eric comes back, and he's got a brand new stack of levitating books, all 30 of them, and they have different covers than what they had before. But he's got them, and he says, well, I have what you requested here for you. I trust your discretion, of course. And is there anything else I can do for you, Miss Kestrel?
I don't think so, unless you think that there is something you can do for me. You would know.
And he kind of he thinks about it and he goes, no, I don't think there is. But if something does come to me, I will see if I can reach out, perhaps. Is there someplace you're staying here in Lighthaven?
Don't do it.
Just tell them where Doug's house is. Sorry, Gunolf's house is.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
would you like a key?
We keep the back door unlocked.
Yeah. Oh God. We don't have a watchdog.
Right. You and your twin brother
Listen,
can come stab us in the middle of the night.
Yep.
Unless Myru has anything to say about that, I'm just gonna tell him where kind of Gunolf lives.
I might interject, if only because I don't know if we want to share their location. I will say, well, we are passing through, so we might not be here again for a while, but perhaps we can stop by again when we're here next, and we can get in touch with you.
And he says, well, of course. And if you have any more information in your journey, which I'm sure will be quite enlightening, do always feel free to come and share it here at the House of Knowledge. Of course, yes, I will always be willing to engage in the exchange of ideas.
I have one last thing. Would you be willing to engage in an exchange of a cart? Because I have.
You've got like
This is-
35 books, yeah?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, tell you what, I'll see if I can find a parcel and we can have these wrapped up for you. Should make them easier to transport.
Okay.
Is he mailing it to us?
No,
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 no.
no.
Oh,
No, he's
I
gonna wrap
heard
it up.
parcels. Like,
Yeah.
excuse me.
So he
They'll arrive in a couple
he
of
sort of
weeks.
he goes, if you want, I can take those and wrap them up for you. And he offers to take the 5 that you guys have already.
I'm just gonna hold on to him.
Oh, and he goes, okay, I'll be back. And he walks off.
and then we get a levitating parcel in our inventory.
Um,
What can we use that for?
Myru, do you have any means of clock time tracking?
I'm tracking?
Your
wait, you know what
brunch is
time
at
it
9
is?
o'clock. Do you know what time it is right now?
Oh, I mean, I
Shit.
probably have some kind of sense of time,
6
right?
p.m.
Maybe.
I'm
It
wondering.
is definitely
Yeah.
it is definitely time for you to be leaving here soon. You
Okay.
might even run a little bit late.
Oh shit. Okay.
It is easy
Well-
to lose
Kessler,
track
you
of
got
time
these
in a
books.
place
I'm
like
out of
this.
here.
Yeah, do you want to skedaddle or are you gonna wait for the books to come back and
I mean,
everything?
Abandon me?
I'm not leaving Kestrel alone, so
Okay.
I guess this is happening. I guess I'll just have to tell Kestrel that, as soon as we're done here, we'll need to find the others, and then I'll have to head out. But
Oh, are you going alone?
not alone. No. I'm going to brunch with the director of the Do Light Theater with Rosalind.
Oh my God, Kestrel's
Oh,
gonna want to
okay.
come.
Might
I-
run a
What is
little
theater?
late, but
Maybe, but is it wrong? I want to come maybe too. Is that okay?
Jason, I think you said as long as there were only like a couple of people with me, it would be fine.
Sure. I mean, at the end of the day, it's only going to maybe impact your social standing if you show up a little bit late to a brunch you agreed to go to and in the company of people that weren't necessarily invited.
And with
But
someone who's gonna say, "What's theater?
What is
What's
theater?
an actor? What's an actress?"
What is brunch?
What is bread? Toast?
I mean,
You can't say no.
really, Myra does not care about our social standing that much.
If If it would make it too difficult on you, I can stay behind. I'm curious and maybe a little worried after what happened earlier in the alley.
Bring
Want
her.
to be near you.
Oh. I don't know how Myra's supposed to say no to that face.
Have
So
pity. Have pity. Take pity.
She'll say, okay, how about this? When we reunite with everyone, I'll check with Marie and we'll see if she is okay with letting you join me. But I think
Clearly, I'm a bad
If you
mom. I don't
want
fucking
to-
care what.
I'm an adult.
I have like a bottle of wine, and I'm.
I know, but
reading.
like Marie is your
Motherfucker.
guardian, you know. I don't
been-
want to be the one calling the shots.
Okay, cool.
And at this
And
point,
she
Eric,
will try to give you like a rundown of like basic, you know, theater is
Yeah,
this,
please.
and I saw an opera called blah blah blah, and this is so she'll try to give her like a brief rundown, so at least she's not totally like in the clouds if she joins.
Gotcha. And it had
Yeah.
a hot guy in it.
Yeah, and hot lady too. Everyone
And a
was
hot lady. Okay.
so at this point, Eric comes back and he has a parcel. It's like he's basically taken all 30 of the books. He sort of stacked them in sort of like 2 stacks of 15, and it's basically wrapped in paper and like a real like tough string and tied off such that you can kind of carry it as like one like thing. It's easier. It's like a bag, but a little bit more
Yeah.
secure. And he hands that to probably you, Myru. You're the taller of the two, the bigger
Mhm.
one. Okay.
Yep.
So he hands it to you, and he gives you both a polite bow and says, "Again, anything that you ladies wish to find, always feel free to ask."
Myra bows to him and thanks him very much for his help today.
And I hit him with a big, okay, thank you.
And he says, "With that, I bid you ladies adieu. Have a good day." And he walks off. So you guys now have a bunch of books, a lot of books.
Yeah.
Time to find the
Uh,
others.
Time to find the others.
You better
Can
hot
I
foot it.
roll to
Are they
see if
really
we
heavy
can
books? Like,
find
are you
them for
struggling?
them? Yeah, how
you-
am I doing?
Your
I think this is our last chance for our clock.
you're not
yeah.
particularly struggling. It's heavy though. Like it's heavy. It's not easy. Like don't go running with them like full speed or anything of the sort. And
Mhm.
your arms are going to be a little tired, but you can carry them. Like
Okay.
it's not. Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah. They're not like encyclopedias. This is
Oh.
not 30 encyclopedias. Like they are journals, and they're decently sized, but like they're just books. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like yeah.
So, Jason, I'm wondering though, like they're gonna leave for brunch, and we were just gonna kill more time at the library. So the research project, we could say just we can spend the remaining 2 hours or whatever that we're here, continuing to help Sharp, right?
Or now that they've brought a literal library, we bring all the books back to my place.
That's
Or
true.
well,
Yeah,
we could
we
do
could
that,
work
then we could
on-
just change where we meet. Then maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Myru, Kestrel, give me a quick insight and insight check to see if you can find the rest of the party.
Jaja.
I'm looking too.
Yeah.
Though.
You guys will get a. You guys will get actually. So
Michaela's
The
just
books are in
drowning
the way as
books.
you're
She's
carrying
like, I can't
them.
see anything.
wow.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The
Just
books are
eat it.
covering your eyes.
I wanted it too. Lordy. Okay.
Huh.
It's fine. Kestrel, you spot them.
Barely.
Okay.
They're all just like around these shelves, just like flicking through books. But then you see Steve, and he like gives you a wave, and he's like,
Yeah.
I do declare.
I mean, you see John.
Yeah.
Myra's a little preoccupied. She's like, I gotta get going.
Yeah.
well, I can't see over the books, you know. She's
Yep.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
And I come over and I'm trying to stay next to Myra so she can get steered over there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we got a lot of books. Lots of information, hopefully, I think. What are you guys doing?
Long story. We are very excited, Kestrel, to go through those books. I hope your first library was a good experience. But we got to get Myru and Rosalind off to brunch.
Yeah. And me too.
You're going
You're
to
going-
brunch as well.
Yeah. Yeah, she said I could.
Okay, great. Then brunch it is. Well, you three should really get going though. It's like 8:59 right now.
Oh no, no.
I'm gonna reach out and offer to
My
grab the books from
anxiety.
Maru.
She will gladly hand them to you. Thank you for your assistance. And then we'll check with Maria on the side. Just like
Yeah, I kind of
she's just
overhear.
So excited.
Yeah, no, that's,
Yeah.
have a good time. Please just be careful.
Okay.
Absentee
We'll be
parent.
careful.
Yeah.
Gun off,
You're
if
such a
you-
good mom.
If you wanted to make your suggestion, probably now is good.
Yeah. So, sorry. Since you guys have a lot of books, let's go back to my place, and at least we'll have a place to store them there, and we'll grab a few every time we come back, and yeah, that's where we'll keep them.
Good idea. Good idea. Does that mean we should change our meeting spot then? Do we think it makes more sense to everybody meet back at Gunolf's after brunch?
Yeah.
Might
Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. New
You
plan.
mean Eloise's tinctures and Scotty's trinkets? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Uh-huh.
God, by the time we say the name, we're going to be even more late for
Yeah.
brunch.
All right.
Like-
Well, yeah. Best of luck. You might want to run.
Start
Gunolf,
booking
did
it.
you secure transportation?
Yes. I actually bought a cart, so
Oh.
it's ours, and we can use it as we see fit.
It might not hurt if we made use of it now.
Just unlash the horses
yeah.
and hop on.
Good point.
Gunoff, do you want to be the chauffeur for the three to get to brunch?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We will arrive in
Cinderella.
style.
Well, okay, I will say, you probably didn't bring the horses.
No.
Did you bring? You
No.
didn't bring the horses over with you. No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I-
So
Oh, bummer.
Gunoff can be the horse.
you can't say that to a dog.
That's kind of racist.
That's racist.
So
Gunoff
given-
and Albus, go. Go be the horses.
So that from the House of Knowledge, getting over to Baker Street, which is where brunch is like you basically travel across the Greenway, which is the path that kind of cuts through the park, through the market, into Baker Street.
Oh.
If you wanted to go pick up the cart, you'd have to go all the way back down to Bottle Alley, which is like the other direction. So
Mhm.
you would just be faster
Yeah.
just heading down to Baker Street. Yeah.
At the very
Yeah,
least,
we'll
we'll
do that.
transport the books in the cart.
Yes.
All right, power walk then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jason, is it worth
Okay.
a roll to see if they can shave off some time?
Yeah.
to brunch?
They can be.
Parkour their way over.
Is it worth a roll with these
Double
three
dash.
individuals?
One of them
You
is
roll-
going to roll bad and they're going to trip
Turns
so
out you
hard.
missed brunch.
Yep.
Oh God.
I'm going to critical fail that
Well,
shit.
I'll tell you what. How about we settle that next session?
Oh yeah.
That's fair.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We can handle brunch.
What a cliffhanger.
and you guys getting all together, maybe finishing up the research.
Will they
Yeah,
make the
depending on
brunch
if you
Yeah.
guys
or
actually
not?
want to do that or
Finish
not.
up the research,
Um,
move the books. Yeah.
Know the books, and then you guys can begin your journey into Little Keslov.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay.
And catch up as a group, which will probably take an hour.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say. You say that, Jason. Brunch
2
could take the
hours.
full time, possibly.
I-
So
I can't wait to hear, especially with Kestrel with. Oh no,
Oh, sorry.
there's gonna be a lot of.
I can't shut the hell
no,
up. Sorry.
It's so
great.
good, though.
my
It's
favorite
so
stuff.
good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So you guys will have a lot of discussing to do and a bit more research and other stuff to do. But yeah, that's that'll be for next session. Brunch and Little Keslov.
Okay.
Yay.
Great.
Yay.
Thank you for joining us for 4
right.
library episodes. We hope you enjoyed.
Mhm.
And we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.